Hello. Now, I was reflecting this morning whether or not there might be something in the idea that what particularly appeals to me about wanting to present as a female has something to do with my right or wrong associations, and probably very generalized associations with what, um, let's say, a soft, curvaceous, youthful, non-aggressive looking person. Um, what kind of message that speaks to me, and how I might want to present myself in the world. In other words, associating with those kind of ideas, appearing to be non-aggressive, for example. Not to mention appearing beautiful as well, of course, in my eyes. And I think that for me at least, there probably is something in that. It's possibly a part of the jigsaw. Um, I don't want to see myself as someone who is um, aggressive, actually, as has never been the case, as someone that will go into confrontation, as someone that is bullish. Um, all of those kind of labels, perhaps, which tend to be associated more with, let's say, not just macho, but a particular kind of masculinity, have never really been ones that I recognize in myself, want to embody, and for others to see. It's not the message I want to get across. In other words, I want to be seen as someone that is to be treated gently and is not a threat. However, I'm not really sure that this is any more than a piece of the jigsaw. And it certainly for me would not really, I don't think, even be a part necessarily of explaining the deep existential nature of dysphoria. That is something that is much deeper, is a real sense of self. Possibly the only crossover between those two, where they might, where this idea of how we look and the messages they may be sending, the delicacy and all the rest of it, where that might possibly feed in to this real sense of self, is where the theory of subconscious sex is involved. Again, even with this, it's going to be a part of the jigsaw, not perhaps a major part, or certainly the whole thing. But it's possible, I would imagine, that there is something in our psyche that says that when we are presenting this way, or we should present this way, I should say, that's kind of the idea of psychological sex, that we are presenting ourselves in keeping with the sex that we believe ourselves to be. I don't know. I haven't really fully thought that one through, but I think there might be a little bit of a strand of some connection there. And it's also possibly why some of us in the trans community can really be excited by and inspired by, stimulated by images of others that we see, men portraying beautiful women, and beautiful in this sense in terms of the gentleness, the delicacy, the softness, and all that kind of that kind of character. We vicariously project onto these images, and we can see the potential of this kind of beauty being represented by men, albeit with a bit of clever styling and makeup and prosthetics and who knows what else, probably. But maybe we can see that possibility exists for us as well. Anyway, this is kind of an emerging idea, but I do think there is something in it for me, actually. And it's possibly also one aspect of the orthogonophilia theory that I might relate to in some small way. Again, that is very is not a theory that I would hold to particularly, because it really does box people and assume very simplistic reasons well, for people being trans and tying it to their orientation, and there's all sorts of things that are problematic with it that doesn't really fit with this deeper existential sense for most of us. But I think in terms of seeing ourselves as projecting ourselves perhaps onto this beautiful image, this illusion, this image that represents all of these qualities of so-called femininity and non-aggression and so on. If that's a part of what we as individuals want to display to the world, present to the world, possibly there is something in there. But as I say, it's if anything, a very small part of the jigsaw, and it is certainly not going to be in the jigsaw for everybody who identifies as trans.